First I want to just offer a disclaimer. No one has hit me, and I do not have an infection. I have, this is so funny to me, I have a blocked tear duct.
No way.
For crying out loud.
You know, I think it just got overworked and it said. So, it's self-correcting and it will heal itself, so no worries here. But isn't that just hysterical? Oh my. So here we are getting ready for Thanksgiving. And I just am so grateful that we live in a country that sets aside time to be thankful and grateful. And I've been thinking about that. If you look at that word, thanksgiving, it should have an infinity circle in between it. So, thanks. And when we're thankful, then we give. And then we have more to be thankful for, and then we have more to give, and then we have more to be thankful for, ad infinitum. I just think that that's the way it should be written. Ernest Holmes, who was the founder of our philosophy, says this: the motive power which attracts and magnifies the hidden potential of life, that's gratitude. The motive power which attracts and magnifies the hidden potential of life. So there's people who are optimistic and they see the glass half full. And there are people who are pessimistic and they see the glass half empty. And those who are grateful, the gratitudinists, see the glass full always, knowing that there can never be a glass that's not filled up and overflowing and pouring forth with abundance. There's always that essence, that spirit, that divine one that pours into all things. So that's a gratitudinist. There's been a lot of research, and I'm going to talk about it rather briefly because science has now taken a look, finally. You know, science lags behind spirituality often, but we believe in science. So they have, according to Forbes magazine, they have really 7 powerful, scientifically proven reasons to be in gratitude. And the first is that gratitude opens the door to relationships. They found statistically with study that if you are in gratitude and just thank somebody, just thank someone that you encounter for the first time for maybe opening the door, or just for thank you for coming, or whatever you can thank people for, strangers, they are going to be more inclined to be favorably impressed with you and more inclined to want to become closer to you. So gratitude opens the door to relationships, and gratitude improves physical health. They've done studies about that grateful people experience fewer aches and pains, and they report feeling healthier than other people. And this is not surprising. I mean, this is all stuff that we intuitively know. As I said, science has come to the place to prove it for us now. And people who are in gratitude, who live in gratitude, have a tendency to take better care of themselves because they're grateful for their bodies as well as for everything else that comes to them. It improves psychological health. Gratitude addresses and speaks to a lot of toxic emotions and neutralizes them, like envy, resentment, and frustration. And gratitude enhances empathy and reduces aggression. Now, I think this is a really important point, that they have discovered that People who rank high in gratitude were less likely to retaliate against others. And they experienced more sensitivity and empathy toward others. And they were less inclined to seek revenge. I think given our world situation and circumstance, that's a really important point. That if we made a move toward more gratitude, that the world would be a better place to live. It wouldn't be filled with so much need to seek revenge or retaliate. And people who are grateful sleep better, and it improves their self-esteem. And also, gratitude increases mental health. They've done studies that people who suffer from PTSD become more comfortable with themselves and less likely to have episodes based on their gratitude. So now the most common treatment for PTSD, or the treatment that is moving forward in the veterans hospitals, are to be more grateful. And they've discovered that being in gratitude changes the set point of your happiness. So we're a happy church, and when you're in gratitude, it has a tendency to raise the set point of your happiness level. They have found that there's like a 10%, 15% shift in the control of your happiness set point. They say we come in this world with a certain level of emotional happiness, but if one lives in gratitude, that can raise that set point, and we can become happier. So what I want to talk about really is that it's not a matter of being happy or grateful for. It's not that we need to be grateful for anything. It is a place of being. There's this little phrase that I have paraphrased, and it is this: I am grateful because gratitude is not dependent on the object of gratitude. My gratitude is dependent on my state of being. My gratitude is my state of being. I am simply grateful. And coming to that place and realizing that gratitude is a choice that we make. We don't have to be grateful for. We simply can be grateful. And that's a state of being. It's a choice of how we look at the world, how we determine what we're going to do throughout the day, how we're going to move throughout the day, how we are going to be in a state of gratitude. It is a choice. And using that infinity concept, when we are grateful, then more opportunities for gratitude flows to us, which creates more opportunities to be grateful, which creates more opportunities to be in gratitude ad infinitum. So how do you do that? There's been a lot of suggestions, and we all know, we've heard them. One is to keep a gratitude journal. And studies have shown that people that keep a gratitude journal and write in it every day have an increased level of happiness. People who just think of things to be grateful for have an increased level of happiness. But what they have found that being grateful for one thing and then listing 5 reasons for that. So, for instance, I say, oh, I'm grateful for this center. That's nice, and it feels good. But if I say, I'm grateful for this center because of all of the wonderful people that come here. I'm grateful for this center because of the philosophy that we teach here. I'm grateful for this center because of the lovely physical space that has been created here. I'm grateful to Cindy for keeping these lovely flowers in healthy state of being. I'm grateful to Denise for being a sound person. I'm grateful for Peter for being the musician. I'm grateful for our choir. I'm grateful for each one of you. And I could literally go through the room and tell each one of you why I am grateful for you and in what way I am grateful for you. So when we think about gratitude and how it feels, I find it indiscernible from love. It feels the same, and it's the same place. It comes from that same lovely place of love. So at the end of a service, when I say, I love you, that's the same feeling. I want to share just a little story about a little girl that I know. I'll give this eye a workout here and see if it clear it up.
Maybe it'll pop.
It will. So I know this young girl. I have known her. She's 10 years old, and I'm going to call her Serenity. That's not her real name, and she doesn't live in Reno. So, but I know her because her paternal aunt, or great aunt actually, came to me for prayer work around this little girl. And here's the backstory. Serenity's parents were both, and are, both drug addicts. And her dad went to prison for trafficking in drugs. And her mother actually was one of my clients, serendipitously, when I was a drug and alcohol counselor. So Serenity has been having a kind of a rough life. Her mother sees her. Her mother has since gotten out of incarceration and has remarried and has another child. And so her mom sees her every other Monday if she's able to do that. And then Serenity lives with her maternal grandparents 2 days a week. And Serenity lives with her maternal grandparents 3 days a week. And then she lives with my friend, her paternal great aunt, 2 days a week or 3 days a week, just depending. So for 10 years, this child has not had a home. She's gone from one place to another place to another place. She doesn't have a place to keep her stuff. Now that sounds really sad. And yet, there are so many people that love and care for her. There are a huge circle of people that wrap her in love. When she had a birthday not too long ago, her birthday wish was, I wish I had a mother who didn't have blue hair and weird ideas. Now, her dad has actually stepped up. He doesn't have a place for her because he's off of probation now, but he's a felon, and it's really difficult for felons to get a job. So he hasn't had the ability to accumulate what's necessary to make a down payment or first and last month rent on an apartment. He hasn't had the financial ability to make regular payments. And as I said, he's a felon, and so it's very difficult for a felon to find a place to live. What he has done, however, is that no matter where she is spending the nights, where she is hanging out, he goes and spends the evening with her. And then she stays where she's staying, and he goes back to the friends that he's living with at the time. So it's a very transitory lifestyle for both the dad and for Serenity. Now, the reason I wanted to share that story with you is that my friend was tucking Serenity in bed not too long ago on the couch. And she was pulling the covers up around her, and Serenity said, what a wonderful lifestyle. So when I say that happiness and gratitude is a choice, that's the truth. But more importantly, I believe that when we live in gratitude, it simply makes our life better. And that's just actually the bottom line. Being in gratitude helps our life feel better, and we can be happier. It's not something that we need to do. It is simply something that we need to be. Charles Fillmore, who is the founder of Unity, said, "We increase whatever we praise. We increase whatever we praise. The whole creation responds to praise and is glad." The whole creation responds to praise and is glad. It is so simple, really. It's very easy just to live in gratitude. And we have so much to be grateful for. Endless, endless, endless lists. But that's not the point. The point is the emotional, spiritual feeling of gratitude, which easily translates into love. So now, I say to each one of you, I'm so grateful for you, and I love you so much.
Namaste.
So I would invite the practitioners to stand and join me. Now, see, that seems to be working okay. Join with me as we just allow ourselves to move to that quiet, still place where we are connected with all that is. And as I find that place within, I feel myself expanding in love and in gratitude. I know that God is love. I'm grateful for that knowing. I'm grateful for the peace that fills me. I'm grateful for the joy that gratitude brings me. I am grateful. I am a gratitudinist. And as we say in our final affirmation, I'm grateful for life, just the way that it is and just the way that it is not. I'm grateful for the rest of the story. I'm grateful to be alive. And I know fully that sitting in the presence with a grateful heart heals all things. I allow that to work in my life. I allow gratitude to be the great experiment for life. And I celebrate it, and I welcome it, and I rejoice in it, and I claim it for each one of us. And I invite you to claim it also by saying, and so it is.